after all of this obviously leaves a really bad taste in your mouth. You've seen these two men go after each other. You've seen the club kind of tear itself in half or into three places, like you said.
Yeah.
And
Three divisions, the division squad.
And you decided that this was enough.
Yeah.
For me, if I was hanging out with a bunch of people that were trying to get after each other and calling each other friends, I would probably do the same thing. Yeah.
Brothers, not friends.
Right. Right. This is a very... It takes a certain type of person to be able to wear that patch.
Yeah. And, they had this saying that sometimes, it's heavy and your shoulders can't hold it up. I never found that to be a problem for myself. What I did find to be a problem was, if we're going to hurt the same people that are wearing the same thing we are, then what the fuck do I need it on my back for when I can just do that on my own?
Right, right. And not have to adhere and be here and be there and...
Only person I got to be accountable for is myself.
Right.
If I want to get stupid, then I'll get stupid. If I don't, then I'll just mind my business and move about,
Right. And you have some sons I met, I love, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're fucking rad.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah. I wasn't able to be there for my first two kids like a father should. And that a lot. I don't blame that on anybody but myself, especially in my later years.
I feel you so much on that.
I didn't have any business having kids when I fucking did at the time.
Yeah.
I love them. Yeah, I think about them every day. Do I get to see them? Not in 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably not going to change because of all the shit mixed into what happened there,
Yeah,
with
I had
the club and what have you,
I had to change my life, prove myself basically. Started to be able to see my sons when they were in their teens.
Yeah.
One of them actually told me when I had Scarlett, my daughter, hopefully this will be your redemption. Hopefully you can redeem yourself.
And it feels good too when I don't feel good at all about how shit went with my first two kids, but I don't blame anybody but myself.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just being accountable.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Do I try harder now? Sure I do. I think anybody that has any sense of morals in their fucking life wants to get better, do better, you know what I mean?
I think you're a wonderful father, and you have an amazing relationship with their mother it is
to co-parent.
The perfect co-parenting, we're not together relationship.
It is. And and thank God, because when it doesn't go like that, man, the shit I've been through with that,
Yes, sir.
I have no ill will towards my oldest kid's mother whatsoever. I don't blame her for how shit is. I blame only myself. Yeah. And I take full responsibility for that, and I put that jacket on there, you know what I mean?
Right.
When I quit the club, I have no loyalties for that bullshit anymore. Only loyalty I have now is to my own fucking family.
That's right.
And that's just the way that should have been from the get-go. Because that sure wasn't no family. That was a shit show.
Right. Your life, this is how it should be.
When you're living in the fast lane like that, I didn't think I was going to live to be past 30.
Yeah.
And didn't have kids at the time when I started. Once I had kids, then it kind of put a haze on things, not in a bad way. You just learn. I think that anybody with half a brain learns that once you start having kids, you start having vulnerabilities in your life.
Yes.
You're not 10 foot tall and bulletproof anymore. Here you got these little mouths to feed, and they look up to you, and you're trying to commit yourself only to this shit show you're in.
Right.
And there's no time for both.
Right.
And I can almost guarantee, I can't speak for anybody, but I can almost guarantee if you asked 100 people out there that were in this shit show, the same, they're going to have the same answer. Like I should have been. Only regret I have is I wish I would have spent more time with my kids, my family. And that's an honest to God, real answer right there. I wish I did. But, wish in one hand and shit in the other, man. That time passed and gone, I've tried. Maybe not in her eyes the way it, she sees it. But you got to understand, when I was in the shit show, they were trying to get her mom fired from her job. They were fucking with my ex-old lady. They were, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
were making her life miserable.
Yeah, they were making her mom's life fucking miserable, and she worked for the courts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just I mean, I felt just terrible about that still to this day. Like, you know, but turnabout's fair play. And she knows what I'm talking about, because her boss that they were complaining to fire her ended up, her daughter married a Hell's Angel from South Carolina, and then the boss felt hella guilty and went and apologized to my ex's mom. I'm sorry, because now she's going through the shit too, right?
Right.
So, you know. Well, you know what? I sure as hell can't say that I wish I never did that, because I don't.
No.
I learned valuable life lessons in that circle of bullshit. And one of them is, don't ever join a gang, kids. Because it never ends well for you or anybody else.
Yeah.
So keep your ass in school, and you only got one job in life, and that's to do better than your parents did. And, you know, for my kids, that ain't too hard on the dad side.
Right.
You got to do better. You know
yeah. You don't gotta do much,
you
guys.
You gotta do much to impress me. Just fucking
2
don't
years
go to
of college
prison
and get a
don't
job.
join a gang and get a fucking job. You know.
Yeah.
And I'll be. You know, I love my kids unconditionally, all of them. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I don't get to show my oldest two, and
I mean, hopefully
that hurts.
That can turn itself around somewhere.
Someday, you know, all you can do is put your hand and your head in the right place. And
as for the club, they made some moves. I mean, it is club business, not ours, obviously, but you knew Sonoma and Fresno. And now they're all in jail. They're all going to prison.
They all lost everything.
They're all gone.
Yeah. This is a reoccurring thing, though. You know, anybody that's been around it knows that, like I said, once you start harming the people that are wearing the same shit you're wearing, it's no longer a brotherhood or you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, what do you even need to... I mean, you as a person could go out and handle however, you know, business you want to handle, however you want to handle it, you know?
Yeah.
Is it going to work out better for you? The only thing that works out better with having that behind you is if you're in good standing, they may help out with the lawyers, but you're going to have to pay it back.
Right.
And what, you know, what do you got to prove, honestly?
Right.
Only thing I got to prove is that I want to be the father of my kids.
Right.
That's it. All that other shit, you know, I don't. Since the only thing I miss about the club is the riding and the actual real friends I had made coming into it and around it and what have you.
Yeah.
And I still talk to most of them. Most of them ain't in the club no more anyway,
Right.
so I don't give a fuck. I get to see him and talk to him all the time.
Exactly.
My brother Todd. I don't want to throw everybody's name out there, but my Todd.
Yeah.
Big Rob. I don't give a fuck. Pee-wee.
Yes.
You
Yes. The club is just everybody who was somebody or had ever been somebody. The history of it is being written by the loudest people. It's not always correct.
Sure.
You have snitches taking down Sonoma and Fresno. They're the loudest.
It's always going to happen.
You have, you know, George's side of things, Sonny's side of things, everybody's side of things. You have members that have been 52 years in the club.
Fucking Bert, man.
Out for talking to another member who was in for 40 some odd years, and he was just asking, what can we do about this?
Yeah. You know, the rules only apply to so many. That's all I can say about that.
Right.
Like, you know, certain people can say certain shit and do certain things. They got carte blanche. Then the other people, you know, it moves in a circle, dude. It's a circle of fucking vicious sharks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whoever looks like they're you know, you know, that they're gonna get attacked, like blood in the water and the piranhas and all that. You know, they just come out of nowhere, just you know, teeth and fangs, and it's just disgusting, dude. But you know,
I mean,
so many people are getting fed up with it. You see more and more of this shit, like people getting fucked out of real things. You know, hard-earned life accomplishments, like Pee Wee's Shop.
Yeah.
And how all them mother vultures got on him and never paid him for his share of his shit.
Right.
You know, and I would be telling him to get fucked too, bud.
Right. That's
and you know,
that's nothing you can just get over either.
Fuck no, bud. Them people better walk fucking quiet at night.
That man is a Viking.
Yeah, dude. You think he's just okay with it? I wouldn't be.
Right. No.
Like I said, once you start hurting each other, then there's no more boundaries left, bro.
Right.
There's no fucking rules no more.
Right. There's
You
no.
can get it too, bud. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Nobody's, you know.
There's no amount of money that would make me take from one of my friends. I won't take anything ever from a friend.
Man, that's theirs.
And
man. Fuck that.
And would make me turn on my friend. You pay me $1 million, I'm not gonna do it. You know, $70,000. They lost a warrior.
Yep.
For
but they didn't see it that way.
The actions.
They saw it $70,000 gained, and we can always replace him.
Right, and
you see what I'm
the
saying?
money that they make in the shop.
Yeah,
thereafter.
you know, it doesn't surprise. You know, I've seen the sickest shit. Like when little Joe died, he had the leather vest and shit. You know, he had an agreement with the club. He dies, and all these members are trying to bag his ex bitch and make that business theirs. You
That's
know what
crazy.
I mean? The only agreement was with the club with him. It didn't stand with her. You know, we had to chase that down and shut her down, and all this shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, members thinking they're gonna bag her and they're gonna take over fucking HA Leather.
Yeah, they're gonna move in on.
Like,
yeah.
how are you gonna do that? Like, that's just scumbag shit, dude. In my eyes.
It is. And I mean, there are members.
Get out there and make your own fucking waves in your own way.
Ray always made his own hustles.
Sure.
You got to give him that. That dude was in the mortgage and everything else, but he did it all. But he did it all. He didn't take any of those from any of his club brothers.
No, he made his way.
Right.
He had, you know, the club makes you think in a way that I can't explain to you really, other than it's expensive to be in this club, and it takes a lot of fucking money. And I don't care what people say. I was supporting half of my charter through certain means and what have you, and whatever. You know what I mean? Whether or not they want to agree with it, whether or not they want to come in here and talk shit, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You ain't my daddy or my fucking, you know, my dad's dead, bud. Come and get it.
I mean, to lose warriors over dues over any of that.
Just jealousy, even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jealousy's been a big thing.
Fuck.
To think, though, that some of these members are going to be buried in some plot at some Baptist church somewhere in the town that they die, and they are not going to have a Hell's Angels headstone. To think
that happens a lot,
life.
you know.
And that includes
so many different reasons, but like they always say, I've seen more go than I have come, but I've liked more that I've seen go than that were still there, if that makes sense to you.
It does.
The good ones who have a voice or who ain't putting up with the bullshit seem to be the first ones that get hated on and pushed out or scammed or fucking plotted on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Shot in the back of the head when you're not even looking like cowards, you know? Like, if you're going to do somebody, man, at least look them in the eyes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be one of them pussies.
There are other clubs that have a retirement plan for their members. If you put in X amount of years,
well, Canada
and you
lets
want to
their members retire. That's probably the only. Well, you know, Australia, you can play patch hop all day long. You could be in the club 6 or 7 times, and all the other clubs they have to offer in Australia, New Zealand. Oh, dude, they trade them like trading cards. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it.
Foreign to me.
Fully, it's foreign to us over here too. Believe me, I don't understand it.
To scream how much you hate somebody and then to say, I'm coming
say,
over here and I hate them now.
All I got to say about that shit is, Tang's all here. They know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure.
Tang's all here, bud. That was my comment.
It's a vicious world, and I think that the club has lost its grip on that. Yeah. I get it. Older members.
It's not
they
necessarily
lose their luster
that. I think it's the younger members that there aren't enough older members to guide them like there used to be.
Right.
In how would you say, the etiquette of this shit.
Right.
And like I said, once they got rid of all the old nomads, dude, I was over it anyways, because those dudes were gangster, bud.
Right.
And they all got fucked over in the interview because one of their brothers got ran over by some fucking crackhead on the 205 or wherever the fuck it was at. I don't.
Well, they lost Jambo.
They lost Tumulty and Jay there.
Mm.
Yeah, that was Festus and Jay.
Mm.
I just talked to Jay right before that happened too, man, and he's all, "You gonna go for a ride with us?" And I said, "I can. I'm on watch." It's the last time I seen him, man. Last time I seen him, besides when I had the videos, and I wish I still had the videos. The sheriffs took them from me when they raided me one time. They took all my CDs.
Right.
I had a Laughlin, but I had CDs of Laughlin, and the cops went out there. They threw Jay off of the fucking gurney onto the fucking ground and just let him die right there in the fucking parking lot, bro. While they took the gurney and went and got someone else
who was wearing a different
patch.
patch.
He was right, getting ready to be loaded into the fucking ambulance. The fucking 2 cops come and just throw him in the fucking gutter. You take the gurney and go, "Now you want to sit in there and tell me that our government is fucking ain't crooked?"
Right.
All lives are supposed to be saved, regardless.
Right.
That's you protect and serve.
But the
Oh, he ain't gonna make it. I sit there and watched on the video. You could see him breathing until he takes his last fucking breath in the gutter, like a fucking dog, bud.
and the one they went in after was wearing obviously a different patch.
Probably because he was a cop.
I mean that from the outside, being in the streets
And the
my
thing
whole
that-
life.
And I just gotta say this: the thing that bothers me the most about that stupid fucking video that they play on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
is that cop saying that he was trying to dig the bullet out of his buddy's chest because he didn't want him to die with the enemy's fucking bullet in him.
Trying
That's
to
a fucking load
hold
of
the
shit,
artery
dude.
so he doesn't bleed out.
He's fucking he had his fingers in his hole trying to keep him from bleeding out, man. He give a fuck about all that. That's just, that right there is how they keep fucking the money going for their cause, not anything else.
Can you imagine?
They get their federal grants for lying and saying shit like that in the interviews, and the public out here just eats it up like Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't what happened, bro. I could tell you, I was in Laughlin. That was my first real gig with the club, and that was something on a whole nother level we could talk about some other time.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, I could probably still find some of those DVDs. I got a bunch. I just got to go through them. But I got the videos of what really happened there, and them dudes had duffel bags they were bringing into that casino and setting on chairs, and the security guards weren't saying shit, and nobody was trying to check them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fucking things were loaded. They were loaded fucking bare.
Ray came in mad, heated, because allegedly they had kicked one of the older members of the Hells Angels maybe in the parking area or something.
I'm not sure if they laid hands on him, but they surrounded Norm Green in an underground parking garage when he was by himself. This is the first 50-year member that I know of.
Right.
And a fucking legend in the club still to this day, and a solid motherfucker, man. And they surrounded this old man in the garage and was trying to bang on him, you know what I mean? And Norm Green ain't no punk and never was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm almost positive that Ray caught wind of that, and it fucking lit his fire, bud.
And the dude's a savage.
And the dude's a fucking gangster.
And he
bud.
said, "Who did this?" Boom.
When he went in there, he was trying to find some answers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the first motherfucker that said something said, you want to go outside? And Ray just, who wants to? You want to go outside? Bow! Fucking kicked him right in the mouth. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Everybody's seen it on tape. I ain't got to tell you.
Yeah.
You just might not know what the fucking real reason was. And maybe that ain't the real reason, but that's the fucking thing I heard.
Right. And
from a valuable source that
right. And there's
somebody who's still in the club that I fucking have great admiration for, but we can't talk no more. You know what I mean? But he was my roommate. We came up together, and he told me that, so I believe him.
Yeah.
Even though we can't talk, or he may feel some type of way about me not being in the club no more, whatever. But, Mikey, I know.
But you left the club because of all the... I mean, nobody would want to stay around. After going through all of this and being intimately involved with you saw all of it, because when they made you the president, this is what it's about. Show me. Here it is.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the shit was already in the light already, so it didn't have to be me getting a badge or something to see anything, because when you're living that lifestyle for so long, it's repetitious.
Right.
You can only expect it. Well, who's it going to be this month or this year or this week? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody falls out. Fuck 'em, you know? I
Right.
don't care what anybody thinks about me now.
You
I'm
shouldn't.
my own man, and I don't give a fuck.
Right. As far as like the Mongols, I mean, the Hells Angels are sliding to where it could be like the Mongols, and if they
From what I
rebuild,
heard-
the
from-
Mongols have
from-
rebuilt so good.
From what I heard, you know, the red and whites like unicorns down south. That, you know, you hear about them, you just never see them.
Right.
But those dudes are deep down there now.
Yeah, and they're
But you know,
put together
those
well.
dudes were down to 12 guys or 13 guys at one time, and the only thing that saved them was that treaty. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying
Could have been the right 13 guys,
It
though,
could have
man.
been because they was
Those dudes were serious
I
hitters.
guarantee, like, and I said this to you one time before. Somebody showed me a picture of them all in front of a bar one time and asked me what I saw, and I said the enemy, and he said, I see love of brother right here, because then they were small. They had to be. You know what I mean? And they weren't like you know, Roger Penny was saying in that interview, I wasn't going to lose another war. I mean, I think that they had their head on their shoulders, but the problem is when Doc tried to grow it out fast like that, they got to, you know, you start getting away from everything, and certain individuals get in that ain't, you know, they're
Right.
going to get in easier when you're trying to grow like that, because you're patching people over instead of prospecting them out. You know, back in the day, in the club, you used to have to move in with your sponsor in his house, so there wasn't no. And if you're gonna try to wear that badge and do that, motherfucker, like, I'm gonna see everything, I'm gonna know everything about you, bro.
That's the way it should be too. I think.
And that, you know, and that's the problem, is it's so watered down that it's just not like that no more. Everybody, you know, I'm my own man. I take care of myself. You know, well, whatever. You know, just be careful who you're standing next to.
Right.
Because either they're gonna get tired of taking fucking arrows in the back and turn on you, or you're going to be getting an arrow in the back from them because you weren't paying attention, or you couldn't read between the lines. It's a really greasy, grimy fucking lifestyle, but and the more public it gets, the more is lost with the old ways, you know.
Right. I mean, congratulations. The Mongols, I think, are doing it the right way. They've done it the right way for what it is.
You know what? I got nothing but respect for them dudes, too, especially some of the ones that you know, that are I know of, you know.
Yeah.
You can't take anything from your enemy. Know that. You better have respect for them, because those dudes ain't nothing to play. I mean,
JR down in San Diego.
Yeah, dude,
man,
them dudes ain't nothing to play with. He don't live there no more. He's in Utah now.
That's a Viking.
But that
of a
dude's
man.
a savage, bud. I got nothing but respect for that dude. I ain't trying to take nothing away from that guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or some of the other ones I know about that are fucking doing it.
There's Vagos out there, Maniac, Dragon Man. Like, there are warriors in every
like
club.
I said, man, just because you're eating dinner with these guys, you know that what they've done doesn't mean that these dudes ain't got the same people at their table.
That's right.
We all eat at the same type of table, just in a different building. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And
like George used to like to say, you know, you got to serve the table before you can eat at it.
And that's a fact, because you need to know how to move. Now, the table is basically people that are just coming in.
Yeah. There's not too many of the old timers left.
Right.
They keep, you know, and I got my own theory on that. Just like Pee Wee said, I got my own theory about what's going on there. But I don't give a fuck, man. Let them chew each other up.
I think it's sometimes as you get older, you lose your want to continue to be what you were when you were younger. But there's no way out. There's no retirement. So these men are just trying to hang on till they die to be buried what they lived their entire life for.
Yeah.
And something comes up and they just, I can't take this. Fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
I've definitely seen that happen more times than I can count.
Right.
But, you know, something that stuck with me from my days in there was when the Ventura charter was splitting and we were starting Santa Barbara. David O said that he was going Santa Barbara way, and you know, I was like, what? And he's like, I'm tired of fucking arguing with him. And I was like, oh. And he goes, I'm tired of losing the argument, because when this guy doesn't have things go his way, it's like watching a 3-year-old throw a tantrum, dude. It was something special, I swear to God. But you can imagine, I want, yeah, you know, just like a little, watching your kid throw a tantrum in his fucking walker, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's basically what Dave was saying to me, and I was just like, I never forgot that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other things Dave told me, but I'm going to keep them for my own selfish reasons to myself, because I got nothing but love for that guy.
Yeah.
But just something he said to me one time that, you know, it rang home really bad, because that's how it was with that dude. You couldn't express your opinion unless he agreed with it.
Right.
Otherwise, he would want to fucking just tantrum about it until you saw it his way.
Right.
Well, that ain't how. All of us got our own opinions, man. We're grown ass fucking men.
Feel how I feel. Let me feel how I feel.
Dude,
Respect
it's like, but you know, you say something that, especially that if he didn't agree with, man, you were on the fuck list. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's where Dave was at. He was just like, dude, I'm tired of the fucking circle, bud. Of just coming to church and hearing this dude talk about himself for 3 hours, bro.
Right.
And get nothing else done. It was almost like fucking going to a play every week.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's why I think he was so good at that stage show he was doing there for a minute. Whatever.
Yeah.
If that's your thing, I mean, acting, then get after it.
Obviously, whoever's in the club, there are stand-up great dudes in that club still.
In a lot of the clubs, there is.
In all of the clubs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see moves that you think, but you don't know everything about.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's so different now.
It's the moves that blow you away the most are the ones you pay attention to.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's out of the regular, out of the norm. You could see the dog eat dog bullshit all the time, but it's those weird moves that make you go, okay, I see what's up. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and you put that motherfucker on the pay attention list. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I've seen that a few times, you know.
Well, I'm glad that you walked away from it when you lost your.
Wish I would have did it a little bit sooner, you know. But yeah, it just wasn't worth it anymore.
At the end of the day, there's only one person in the world that was going to be thrust into the position that you were, and that happened to be you.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the world lived that part of that turmoil in the Hells Angels. And that's heavy.
It was a heavy time, you know, and let me just say this too, because I know a lot of people will say this shit. It's fun being in the club when it's fun, but when it's bad, it's not fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not made to be fun or whatever
Right.
You know what I mean? But it all boils back down to what I said earlier. If you got to start hurting the motherfuckers that are wearing the same thing as you are, then that's something, that's what do they call that? When you eat your own maggots, eat their own kind. And that's what the outlaws like to call the angels, is maggots, because they eat their own kind so much. You know, if you're killing your own race, doesn't matter. It's the same, that we all wear the same thing on our back, and you got to fucking worry about somebody walking up behind you and shooting you in the head. Right. I mean, then what the? You don't need a patch to go do that. No. You just need a reason. Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, that's why get involved in a RICO? You know what I'm saying? You do it individually without any colors on you, and it's, you know. Don't turn this murder into a RICO. Yeah, don't make it personal, motherfucker. You never know. Some people never forget how to move at night. Right, right. I think your life, obviously, like I said, I didn't know you before all of it, but I think it turned out really good for you. I ain't got shit to complain about. Me and you are a lot alike in our minds, and I dig that, because we're different, right? Yeah. But you have such a good way about you. You're a stand-up individual. I try to be. You know, and that's not to say that, you know, I'm not taking any of the glory from any of those people. I'm just being me. And like I said, we're all getting old. You know what I mean? We all got problems, but I just don't remember things happening that just exactly that way. Right. But like I said, if acting's your thing, then, man, get out there and do it. Well, I mean, they're holding auditions, man. Like I said, there are other people that were there that were involved in going to George's house that say the same thing independently from you. Yeah. So
that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, because it was, hey, wait a minute, I'm hearing this. Let me talk to the man himself about it.
And just to say, George wasn't out bad in the beginning, and it pissed some other older members off. But if you knew George like I did, I saw what he was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He needed the ending for his book, and he needed the fireworks.
Yeah.
It's got to be a shelf mover. It ain't worth nothing. Nobody's gonna pick it up. You know what I mean?
He's a thinker.
He's
is
definitely planned it ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's a chess player, not checkers. The man, he knows how to move. You know.
He has a lot of traits.
I just think that he could have did that more diplomatically, and I just, like I was saying, I think he wanted Ventura to go down when he did. He didn't want there to be a Ventura charter because he created it. So when he left, he wanted it all. And I don't care what he says. That's,
yeah.
If you look back at how everything went down, that's what he wanted. He wanted it to be gone with him.
Well, if you think about that, it's like Pee Wee with the Sturgis shop.
Yep.
He says, hey, wait a minute. I put all the blood, sweat, and tears into building this.
Yep.
And now you guys are going to tell me that it's yours and not
break
mine?
my bunk beds but me, goddammit.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you got to look at it from George's perspective, too. Although he made the moves to get him where he was.
Yeah, he played it smart, man. I ain't got no ill will to him. I'm just saying, I just don't remember it exactly going down the way he said.
Right.
And it all could be part of the storyline, you know what I mean? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that man makes...
I ain't writing no books, bro.
He makes moves.
Yeah, go write a book. I ain't writing no books.
I can't read.
This shit dies with me, bud.
Yeah, exactly. And to think, you could have been in a car accident and this never would have been a conversation. Yeah. And I understand, you saying, hey, man, I just want to be away from it all. But this is too big of a part to not just say, hey, wait a minute.
I think I just grew up.
Uh-huh.
People could say, you quit for this, that, or you're pussy or whatever. I don't give a quit. I got kids to raise.
You went to prison for the club, so they can miss me with all that bullshit.
I did that too. And a lot of people do, and 90% of the time when they come out, they fucking quit or get thrown out.
Right.
So what's it all for?
Nobody talks to him anymore. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Or you go and then you get out and everybody's worried to talk around you.
Right.
Hey, I did my time. I'm off paper, homie.
Right.
It's just fuck them in their neck.
That's right. Out the ear.
Yeah, I don't care. But you asked. I'm gonna say it as respectfully as I can without divulging too many names or any. Usually when I talk, I don't like to speak on the people that are living still or what have you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But we're both out bad now. We're 51s, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't give a shit. But see me popping up trying to wear shit or show shit.
Mm-mm.
Fuck all that.
Nope. None of that.
Yeah.
Pictures are a big thing in the club for sure.
Yeah, most of them got black dots over the faces of the people in it.
Right. But, I always ask for pictures, to look at pictures. Yeah. And, there's some that are Cisco and Sonny.
Dude, I've got
Sonny wrenching on a bike.
I got legendary pictures, bud.
Right.
Legendary.
All of them.
I was in that process, so I ain't giving it up.
Right. Fuck those are your personal pictures. My shit. Right. From your personal camera. Yeah. These are... It's insane. They're great pictures, and they show great time with the guys. All look happy.
I got to hang out with some of the legends that aren't here no more, and you ain't gonna hear stories about them like I was with them dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking. Yeah.
It had to break your heart when Sonny saw the Ventura patch and kind of
shunned me. It's all right. It all ended up in the best later. You know what I mean? We sat down and talked at the South Run one day, and we talked for hours, and we talked a lot. Yeah. And
good.
I don't care. The 911 call that Sonny made, I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
The 911 call that George's son made, I don't give a fuck about.
Right.
It had to be done.
Right.
Whatever Sonny did, I can't condemn it or promote it, but
Sonny didn't
what he
give
did
the club
in the
up.
club is legendary, and there'll never be another like him.
Absolutely.
And you'll hear you know, maybe not so much those black and white guys, but you'll hear other clubs say that they paved the way. They created that culture.
Absolutely.
In the United States, you know what I mean, that carried all over the world and still is.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the biggest thing going now, because you know them other guys, they never stop growing or concentrating on their goals either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And most of them are worldwide themselves now.
Oh yeah.
Look at the Pagans are making moves, bro. They're growing all over the United States. They're in Costa Rica now. I mean, those guys are. You can't take that away from them. They earned it, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
The same with these other clubs, you know. Some of them are getting bigger. Some of them are being forgotten, which is sad.
Right.
Especially since, you know, they've been around almost as long as the Angels have.
Right. Losing history to patching over is, I would say, don't do it 100% of the time. There are clubs that are just nearly as old as the Hells Angels. There's the Gypsy Jokers.
Yeah.
You know, you got Galloping Goose, El Fosteros.
The Galloping Goose,
Sons of,
El Fosteros are like, they may not have the interesting looking patch, you know, like the most interesting or glamorous looking color of patch, but man, it's history, dude. Those dudes were gangsters back in the day, bro. A lot of them patched over to be Hells Angels.
Yeah, yeah, they.
I'm not necessarily saying that was a good thing, but you know, sometimes when you're out there looking for that freedom, there's just not enough where you're at, and you want something bigger or more.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.